Hey, welcome to my channel. Pretty much going to be talking about history, politics, more importantly, like evolution of politics, history of politics. I come from a history and political science. That's what I studied in school. I'm currently a history teacher as well. So let's get started. So pretty much the history of people in general has been communities building together, and primarily it's been one group of people, men. I don't know why in the past 20 years or so, maybe even longer, 30, 40 years, that there's been this war on men. Men have built the world, and men still run the world. I mean, shit, you really gonna call up a woman, say, hey, my house is flooding, you gonna go, can you come fix it? No, it's a man. They call the man of the household, don't call the woman of the household. Primarily, men take care of about 95% of the jobs. 95% of the work that needs to be done in the country is by men. It's not because we choose to do it. We don't want to do it. It's we have to do it. And I think that's the problem with society. We're choosing what we want to do now instead of what we have to do. And it's a shame because there's a lot of decent things that we have to do. There's a lot of important things we have to do. A lot of hard work that we have to do to build where we've gotten to today. I think today in society, we decided just to start immigrating in our labor. Immigrating in the jobs we don't want to do. And it's not necessarily everyone's fault. It's just the way the world works. That's like during the Roman Empire. When they hit the height of the empire, all of a sudden they started importing in people from Gaul. They started importing from Germania. They started importing in from Africa and started doing the little jobs that probably the Romans used to do, they don't want to do anymore, and eventually it led to the sense of, what are we? They started losing the idea of what is Rome. And I think it's getting to a point out in America is, what is America? There used to be an idea of individual liberties and freedoms, but what is that? What is that? And we keep giving liberties and freedoms to everyone, but no one will really tell you what it is. I'm willing to bet you, I teach history. I can ask my students, what is the difference between liberty and freedom? 95% of them won't give me a good answer. Or not even a good answer, the right answer. And that's a shame. Because this is simple American history that you should know. Not just American history, just knowledge people should know. Which I thought assumed people would know, but apparently not. Finding that out. So, I'm in training pretty much. It's tough out there. Stuff out there. Just trying to do your best. And the worst part of it is, especially now, we're trying to do so much. I think it's a problem in society. We're trying to help too many people. I go watch videos on TV. I watch videos on YouTube about people, about these self-motivating. They want to do better. This depression about themselves, and they watch these self-motivating videos, and it's like, what's wrong? You have a great job. You probably have someone who loves you. You have a house probably. What are you to be depressed about? And it's like, oh, there's some people out in the world that's suffering. It's like everyone's always been suffering. There's always been a group out there suffering. There's always been people who don't do that well, who aren't doing well currently. And so it's always been, and always will be. There's no solving it. There's always been poor people in the world. You had in the 60s, the war on poverty. Complete failure. First of all, people didn't even know what it was about. They thought, oh, we're going to solve it's about poor people. That's not about poor people. The war on poverty was simply trying to upscale the cities. The cities got so bad that there was literally crime in the streets. Crime was about 75%. There was litter. And people think now it's, people now it's like, oh my god, it's cluttered. It's about the environment now. People then didn't care. People then thought it was global cooling during the 70s. They were more worried about the nuclear war, the Cold War. They were about getting nuked by the Soviet Union. People didn't care about the environment. And it's the whole idea of self-improvement. They don't want self-improvement. They just want other people to feel. They want to empathize with people. They want people to feel bad about them, which is sorry. There's only one thing you can change, and it's your attitude. Now, I wasn't always so self-confident in myself. I mean, I still believed in my abilities, but I didn't loathe on what I couldn't do. And I think that's the problem, that we're trying to find some way to feel bad about ourselves. We're trying to find a way to point out our negatives so that we can feel bad. Well, not feel bad, but just emphasize with somebody else. Try to make someone else, open up about our feelings, which is sad. It's called a therapist. No one wants to be someone else's therapist. God, no. I have students come up to me talking about their feelings. No. Talk to your parents. Don't talk to me. There's nothing I can do to help you. I can point you in a direction for someone to help you, but other than that, turn to your parents. In fact, don't even turn to a therapist, because there's a lot of therapists out there that just medicate you. Yeah, that's a real problem. Yeah, that's really gonna help. Just turn them to drugs. Yeah, kids feeling depressed, put them on Adderall. Kid can't sit still, put them on some other drug. Just why drugs? We always make fun. We're worried about drugs coming into our country right now. We always had problems with drugs. 50 years. There was the Red Coke Wars during the 80s. The cartels during the 80s and 90s about no, don't do drugs. No, Nancy Reagan with her ad on drugs. Just say no. And now we're just saying, oh yeah, go right ahead, as long as you don't do it safely. And there's one drug that I don't get why people are doing. It's gonna kill you. And people don't even know what it is. I mean, Adderall's pretty bad that they're doing now, but, oh god, what was that name of the drug? Fentanyl. That was it. I had to look it up just now. Fentanyl. I had to look it up. Fentanyl. Apparently, if you take just a teaspoon, just like that much, it can kill you. And it's just, people don't even know that they're taking it. I didn't even know what fentanyl was, so I had to look it up. But it's crazy. It'll mess you up. And I don't know why they're turning to it. I mean, everyone does smokes weed at least once. But why do more than that? I mean, why? I mean, yeah, okay, maybe it relaxes you, but it just opens you up to a whole bunch of other problems. Primarily, it's going to lead you to become broke, depressed. Everything that you're trying to do, make drugs make you feel better, it makes you worse, makes you worse off. And there's nothing you can do to make it better. I mean, even in gangster movies, you ever seen the movie Goodfellas? Paulie literally told him, it's like, don't do drugs. Don't get yourself involved in the drug business. You'll get caught. Look at that, they got caught. Even gangsters in the 70s and 80s were like, don't do it. It's not a great business. And now we're all of a sudden trying to legalize all of it like it's even a better business. Like, no. It's even worse. There's nothing you can do to make it better. So, I don't get it these days. I don't understand. Even though I'm living through it, I kind of understand it, I guess. You want to feel something. You're bored. Boredom's pretty much the biggest thing nowadays. I think everyone's just bored. That's the big reason why people turn to drugs now, especially for people my age. Turn to some teenager, some 20-something-year-old. Why are you doing drugs? Oh, 'cause I'm bored. It's like, get a job. Well, I do have a job. They're like, yeah, I have a job. I work. But they don't really work. But they still do it. They still spend a whole bunch of money on it, and they wonder why they're broke. Doesn't help the fact that they're going from job to job. They're getting a new job every 6 months. Just stick to the same job. Commitment. Nobody can stay committed to anything these days. Everyone has an attention span of like a squirrel. They just zoom to the next thing. Just stay committed. That's probably the one thing I'm proud of myself, is staying committed to pretty much my job. Pretty much stay committed to what I like to do. Trying to stay committed to pretty much who I am. I'm adverse to change anyway. I don't like change. That's the one thing that people are always afraid of. Change. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter race, color, ethnicity, sexuality. Everyone's afraid of change. Between that and death, I guess. But change. Number one thing people are afraid of, change. But that's the thing throughout history. Things change. One thing I learned about reading history in the basements of a library. There's always change. Whether people like it or not, that's them to decide. But it depends on how fast change comes. The slower the change is, the easier people adapt to it. The faster it changes, the less people adapt to it. I think the fastest change people didn't really like was when Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery. It was actually very unpopular at the time. I think it was only about 30% of the country, 25 to 30% of the country only wanted to abolish slavery. And it was very unpopular until the end of the war, till 1865, when the war was pretty much, the Union was going to win. When, after the Battle of Gettysburg, which was the turning point in the war, people started realizing, what is this war about? What is this war going to be primarily fought about? And that's when Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address right after the battle, and it's like, pretty much identifying that this war is about, it's about uniting the Union, but it's about freeing people. It's about freedom. It's about understanding that this country is going to be one free, united country. And that included freeing slaves. And included the African Americans in the South, or blacks, because they weren't technically Americans yet. The free blacks in the South. Free slave blacks in the South. But, and people go back to reading the histories of people bashing Lincoln for this, that. Lincoln's probably the most popular president of all time. I think his approval rating was somewhere in the 80s. He has the highest approval ratings of any president. And he only had one term. Pretty much. So, yeah. As people now, they worship models and athletes over their own beliefs. Do people believe in anything anymore? Everything I hear people say and like are catchphrases and slogans. It's like they're selling a business. It's like McDonald's. I'm loving it. But you can't live a life like that. You're nothing. This is the old saying. If you believe in nothing, you'll fall for anything. And people will fall for everything. Literally, the news media is probably the most controlling it's been ever. I think the last what I read about, pretty much what I've learned is news media controls the minds of the people. That was Lenin. To control the minds of the people, you must control the means of communication. That was Lenin. For those of you who don't know who Lenin is, he led the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, which eventually gave rise to the USSR and communist Russia. Well, it's not even true communism. It was socialism. And there's a difference. There's a difference between communism and socialism. Communism is when the government is all controlling, controls every aspect of society. Socialism is more of a economic structure, rather than communism's more of a government structure. Communism's a one-party rule. They are the only controlling body of the government. They control every aspect of the country. Socialism is more economic, where they diversify the economies, where the government controls what goes where the money goes. They're kind of the same thing, but by the definition, they're different. They're different and similar at the same time. Just that's the best I can do to help explain. I know it's confusing. Try to look it up as best you can. Look up. There's a book that I'm very strict here. For those of you who want a better understanding of the Russian Revolution, look up this book, Russian Revolution, Sheila Fitzpatrick. Read about this. Very good book. Very good book. She explains pretty much everything about the rise of Lenin, pretty much the downfall of the Tsar in Russia, and pretty much all the way to the Soviet Union. If you want to worry about it. Very good book. Read about it in college. During my class of Russian Soviet history. Very intriguing. Very interesting. Very confusing too. If you ever get into it, it's not like Western European history. It's very confusing. Because they're pretty much like Russian people. They're Russian. They're Asiatic people, but have a European-based language. It's very confusing, though. It's very confusing. But anyway, the whole idea of today controlling the mass media and people living on their phones, pretty much. I'm guilty of it a little bit too. But no, you gotta get out of the Matrix. Break free of the Matrix. No, everyone wants to see the movie The Matrix. Break out of it. It's a dream world. Break out of the dream world. You don't want to live there. God, it's horrible. It may seem nice. It may seem great. Break free of it as soon as you can. You'll feel so much better. Break out of it. Also, don't do online dating. Anything online, don't do it. Don't do it at all, unless you're on this channel. Listen, and also I recommend listen to Andrew Tate. Go to his channel, Andrew Tate. Very smart guy. He's gonna help you out a lot. Especially subscribe to The Real World. You'll never forget it. But yeah, pretty much read as much as you can, because it really helps you understand things. Because it really helps you relax your brain more. It helps you pretty much understand the world around you. The more you read, but find out what you're reading about. If you read more, the more you'll know. The more you know, the better you'll be prepared. I know today the people, upstart, gotta go. You gotta sit down, relax a little bit. And you got study. Study for everything. Though failure prepares, preparing to fail. So it goes with everything. So you gotta prepare for every little thing you can do in life. Prepare. Even for your job. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter if you're picking up trash on the side of the road or being president of the United States. Gotta prepare. Preparing is number one way you're going to succeed in life. That and being punctual. Punctuality. It's everything. If you can show up on time, chances are you're going to get hired. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got my job, pretty much. I showed up on time, I was enthusiastic about my job, and I just really wanted to be a part of it. I really wanted to do what I'm doing, even though it's frustrating, but I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching history. Very complex, but very a lot of work, but everything's a lot of work. I don't get the people trying to make instant money. Like I see apps on my phone, or not apps, but ads on my phone saying, play this game, this game will pay you money. It's like, no, it's not. It's a great advertisement, it's a great publicity stunt to get you to subscribe to the game, but it's not going to do anything. Get off your phone. Get off your phone, talk to people. It's hard to do these days. Some people are rude. I try to walk up to talk to a stranger, and they just give you this look of disdain. Like, what are you looking at? When does society become almost adverse to being around each other? We almost hate each other now. Is that ever since COVID? Ever since people shut down for COVID, people just hated each other. Don't. Was it really that bad? Shutting down? I mean, yeah, I hated it, but have we really forgotten that much? Have we really regressed as a people that we hate one another? I see people like love triumphs all, but yet people who say they love triumphs all, they're also the first people to hate. Use the word hate. You ever notice that? They hate these people, they hate that people, but they always say, "Oh, I love this. I love this. Let's spread love." What is love? What does that even mean? Someone explain to me what love is, because I really don't understand. Some days it doesn't make sense. So someone let me know in the comments below. Just let me know, because no, I understand the concept of love. But I was getting confused with I got something to do. I have something I need to get done, and sometimes you gotta take the choice. Do you do the thing that you love to do, or do you have to do the thing that you have to do? Sometimes the thing you have to do, you're gonna hate it. You're not gonna love it, and that's just the way things are. And that's where society we've gone away from. We only do things that we like to do or we love to do, and we don't do things we have to do. But hopefully it turns around. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you for listening. Hit the like and subscribe below, and see you next time.